If you don't take the time to understand this new Amazon fee structure that's coming out on April 1st, then your Amazon business is going to suffer. And the reason I say this is because every time Amazon rolls out a new fee structure, sellers have to adapt in order to survive. This new fee structure is called the low-level inventory fee. And this video is going to show you exactly how I, as a seven-figure Amazon seller, am going to navigate this new fee structure. This will give you key insight on how to keep your profitability even when a new fee structure is rolled out. That being said, let's get into the video so you can see exactly how to navigate this low-level inventory fee. And as always, if you got value, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into it. So this is the new fee structure that a lot of people are talking about, but not a lot of people are explaining how to navigate it and how it's going to affect you. So I came across this really good Twitter thread on the fee structure, and it helped myself understand it. And I'm going to explain it to you guys so it helps you guys understand it. So basically, what it means is that if you are staying below this 28 days level of historical supply, then you are going to be tacked on a fee on top of your FBA fee. So that is essentially what it means. But how do we calculate this historical supply? So let's say you ship 1 unit a day for a month, and it doesn't factor in until after the last 30 days. So let's say you started selling an ASIN 30 days later, it's going to start factoring in your average ship per day. But let's say you're at day 30, you shipped 1 unit a day on average. So your historical supply at 28 is 28 units because you're selling 1 a day on average. So that's basically how you would get factor or calculate that historical supply. So if you're selling 1 unit a day, you want to keep 28 days of inventory on hand in order to stay above that level. So it's basically forcing you to try to restock and stay in stock, this new fee structure. So you'd want to keep above that 28 units if you're trying to calculate that. So that's best how to explain it. But let's say you don't get that 28 days of inventory, which honestly, it's going to be pretty hard for a lot of us to navigate this because with wholesalers, there's lead times and stuff like that. With OA, there's websites that cancel. So it's going to be very hard to try to balance this tightrope here. It's almost like they threw us on a tightrope and told us to try to stay balanced. But the best way I found, which I'm going to show you guys at the end on how to get through that, is something that I think is just inevitable. But I'll show you guys that towards the end. So this is basically what the fee structure will be. So let's say you have 18 units on hand right now, and that's your stock, but you're shipping 1 unit a day. So you're falling into this 14 to 21 days of historical supply if you only have 18. And let's say you have an order or a unit that's less than 1 pound. So you're going to get tacked on 63 cents on top of that FBA fee. And obviously, if it's heavier, it's going to just go up. But most of the stuff we sell is below 3 pounds. So we're going to stay somewhere in that this bucket of range. I don't think we're ever going to really have less than 14 days of historical supply. This might happen though. And that's really where you're going to get hit hard. You're going to get hit really hard if you have less than 14 days of historical supply on average. And they're factoring this as an average as well. So it's the average of the last 30 days. How much stock have you had on hand on average in the last 30 days? So it's okay to have a little bit lower for a couple days and then recover it with a bunch more. So that will kind of basically raise your average. So you have to show that you have above the 28 days in order to not get hit with that fee. And basically, as you can see, anything that's below 1 pound, up to 3, and up to 3 to 20. So I don't really sell anything that's that high, but you can see this is what the FBA fee will look like. So let's say you're in that 21 to 28 days of historical supply, and your FBA fee is $4.08. It's going to add on that 36, so you're going to pay $4.44. And you can see that it takes the greater of the short-term or the long-term. So the long-term historical supply is your last 90 days. That's your average in the last 90 days. So if you get to that 90-day point, it's going to start factoring in the long-term supply if you're selling it for over 90 days. But if you're selling it for around 30 days before that 90-day point, it's going to take the short-term supply. But after you've done that 90 days, it's going to factor in both, the greater of both, essentially, in order to calculate that fee. So if you have a higher short-term supply, it's going to go for the short-term supply. But yeah, so you can calculate it by your current stock level divided by your average sales velocity. So this is basically, let's say you have a current stock of 28 and you're selling 1 per day. you'd be in that 28 days of historical supply right there. So that's how that would be calculated with the percentage. And we don't really know what it means with IPI anymore. I don't think it's really going to be as big as it used to be, because now they're really factoring in this new system. I'm not sure if it's going to change or not, but that's just, IPI is a whole separate thing from this. I found this useful forum here that basically explains the low-level inventory fee in a little bit more detail. So we kind of covered what it means and how it's calculated. But this is another way to show that the example. Let's say your average daily inventory is 243.6 and you shipped 5.8 per day. Your long-term historical supply is going to be divided, and it's going to get you to 42. And then if it's over the last 30 days, you have 220 average units per day, or average units of stock, and you ship 12.6 a day. Divide that and you get 17.5. So that's going to put you under that 28. You're going to be getting hit with that fee right here of the 14 to 21. You're going to get hit with a 63-cent fee if you are below that, if it's under a pound. That's basically how it factors that in. How you can check this is by going to your FBA inventory page within Seller Central. So if you click on the top right with the dashes, you can click inventory, then click FBA inventory, and then you can sort it by the ASINs that are the lowest to see what you're below that 28 days of supply. See what you have to fix here, essentially. And it goes off the parent ASIN. So if you're selling variations, it's going to basically factor in all of the parent variations as well. So if you're selling a bunch, but it goes based on the parent variation. So that's how you can see the average days of supply. So like all of these listings right here have very high historical days of supply. So those are not going to be hit with that fee. That's how you can check that. And that's pretty much that. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there's a couple ways that you're not going to be getting hit with this fee. So basically the low-level inventory fee won't apply if you are a new professional seller. If you started selling within the last 365 days, congratulations, you are not going to get hit with this fee until after you're at day 366 of selling on Amazon. So this is really great for new sellers to be able to not have to deal with this fee until they're a little bit more experienced and learn how to navigate this. So if you're a new seller watching this video, you're really blessed here, because I'm going to have to deal with this. So yeah, so then another way that it can be factored in is if you have new ASINs. So like, let's say the ASIN was just created in the last 180 days. It's not going to get hit with that fee until it hits that 180-day mark. So if the ASIN was created 181 days ago, now it is eligible for that fee. But this isn't ASINs that you list. This is like ASINs that are created, like brand new ASINs I'm talking about, not just your ASINs. And then there's also another thing is products that are replenished by AWD. Not really sure what AWD, I don't really use AWD, but I found this article to be super helpful. And obviously the best way to avoid and minimize this is try to keep as much stock on hand as possible without having too much. And that's why I say it's like balancing a tightrope almost. But this is the way that I am factoring it in. I think the best way to go about it is to factor it into your costs, because it's almost going to be inevitable that you're going to be hit with this fee, because it's, like I said, it's going to be very hard to stay in stock with lead times and then OA websites canceling and stuff like that. So either business model you have, it's going to be hard to factor it in. So what you can do is go to your seller amp and you can go to your settings right here. If you click this settings cog, you can basically add in these new fees. So I have a prep fee in here already, and it's $1.30. Basically, this means that every unit adds $1.30 to it because of the prep fee in my cost. So it deducts $1.30 out of my profit because of the prep fee. But there's a thing called a miscellaneous fee, which is what I'm doing to add this cost in. My miscellaneous fee used to be 75 cents. 50 cents of that was for VA salaries, virtual assistant salaries. 25 cents of that was for softwares. And now this 50-cent fee is going to be for this new fee structure. So I'm adding 50 cents. It might be a little bit too high because I don't anticipate us paying that on every unit. So maybe it'll be more like 30, 40 cents, but I'd rather overestimate in order to force us to raise our profit margins up, or raise our margins essentially and go after higher priced products. So that's that. And that's how we're basically making it factor in and reduce and take it out of our costs. So it's already into our cost now, essentially. And I'm going to show you what it will look like versus going for a lower price product versus going for a higher price product with this Stanley Cup example right here.
So if we are selling a product that's $66.99, let's say, because that's the listing price of this right now, let's say we paid $35 for it. That's 18% margin, $12 profit. So that 50 cents fee doesn't hurt us as bad as you can see. But when we are going after lower price products, it hurts a lot more. Because, if you're going after higher price products, it's not going to impact your margins that much. I can show you, let's say we tacked on extra 50 cents to the buy cost, which isn't the right way to do it, but it'll show you. It took down less than a percentage point of our profit margin. But if we go after lower price products, let's say we go after a $20 product and we pay $7 for it, or let's say we pay $5 for it, we only get $2.36 profit. So if we add in another 50 cents to our cost, then we only have $1.86 of profit. And our margin is lowering by a lot more. As you can see, our margin lowered by multiple percentage points. It went from 12 to like 8 or 9. So you can see the big impact of something that sells that's a lower price product. It's going to hurt as a lot more. So if you're selling high price products, congratulations to you, because this transition is going to be a little bit easier for you. But if you're selling lower price products, you might want to begin to pivot into higher price products in order to not let this impact your margins as much. So I hope all this information helped you guys to understand how to navigate this low level inventory fee. And don't panic, because it's going to be okay. Prices are naturally going to rise as well. Always happens, but the sellers who put themselves in the right positions and factor this type of cost in are the ones that are going to survive and thrive in Amazon's marketplace. So hope you guys got some value from this video. And as always, if you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.